What's going on, everybody? David here. Today we're talking travel rewards credit cards. But first off, if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the little bell icon so you can get future updates on my videos. All right, a couple of days ago I put out a video, American Express Gold, is it the Chase Sapphire Reserve killer? And it got a lot of people talking. So we had a lot of comments, a lot of statements about thinking Chase Sapphire Reserve is by far the better card. So you had some other people on the Amex Gold side saying that it's a better card and they've had American Express for a long period of time. Then you also had some statements about some of the things that, there are a few things that I did miss, and I will go over those, some of those statements or some of those questions that people had. So the first thing I want to talk about though is just because a card is, it's hard to rank these cards. Let's just put it that way, because people have different needs. People have different shopping patterns. Some people shop at supermarkets. Some people eat out all the time. So if you eat out all the time, you really don't need 4 times points on supermarkets using the American Express Gold. It doesn't mean anything to you. You might have credits that you would never use because they're just not, they don't go along with your travel plans. Good credit that I can talk about is American Express Gold has a $75 credit if you use their portal to book your hotel. You have to stay 2 nights and they'll give you a $75 credit that you can use for food and things like that. So there are different benefits that I might not utilize or benefits that you might utilize. So it's hard to really rank a card and say one's better than the other. It's more of a situation where you can look at one card, and what I was trying to do with the video is I was trying to look at the American Express Gold with the benefits that the American Express Gold has. Is it killing off some of the business from Chase? And I think, and I used the specific Chase Sapphire Reserve, which I probably should have just said Chase, but I think it is killing off some of the business. And one of the things I'm looking at, Chase Sapphire Preferred, that card is really, it's not really an important card anymore. Most people will go with the Chase Sapphire Reserve if they're really into the travel rewards credit cards. They'll go with that card, and there's no need for the Chase Sapphire Preferred anymore. So I have the Chase Sapphire Reserve. I still have the Chase Sapphire Preferred, but now I want to downgrade that card because I don't really need it anymore. And I've actually had it I got the Chase Sapphire Reserve when it first came out. So I've had the Chase Sapphire Preferred all this time, and I need to downgrade. I need to do something else with that card because I don't need the card anymore. All the benefits that I get with the Chase Sapphire Reserve are the same or better benefits that I can get with Chase Sapphire Preferred. So that's kind of what I wanted to say. It doesn't matter when it comes to cards. You might think one's a better card. It's a better card for you. But another card might be a better card for someone else. And so that's all I'm saying. When I'm looking at the cards now, I have the Chase Sapphire Reserve. So why not look into some other cards? I've had the card for 2 years. Look into American Express Gold, American Express Platinum. So that's what I was trying to get at. Now, if you're just starting off, you have 2 options, really. The way I see it, you have the American Express option or you have the Chase option. So you have one or the other. You can go with one ecosystem or go with the other ecosystem. If you already have one ecosystem, then you can look at going into another ecosystem. But what I was saying is just starting off, if I'm looking at both cards, just starting off, I'm looking at a $400 annual fee for one card. Sure, you get the $300 tax credit, but I'm looking at a $450 annual fee compared to a $250 annual fee. Okay, so when you're just starting out, you might think, okay, you know what, let me go with a $250 annual fee. This is a card that has really good earn possibilities, the American Express card is. I can keep this card for a long period of time, and I can continue to earn and earn and earn on that card. And if I'm in a situation where I'm shopping at supermarkets, I can really maximize my points. And I have that cap of 25,000. So all these different things. So there are a few questions and a few statements that I jotted down that I wanted to make sure that I went over. So the first thing, there are a few people that mentioned this. The 4 times points and the 3 times points, it's only good in the U.S. And that's absolutely true. It's 100% true. It's only good within the U.S. So if you're outside of the country and you go to a restaurant and you use your American Express Gold, you're only going to get 1 point per dollar. But the way that I look at that whole situation, 85 to 90% of my spend will be in the US for the most part. I'm going to grocery stores, I'm going to be going to restaurants. Most of this stuff is going to be within the US, so I'll be earning most of my points there. Now, if I'm out in another country and I want to go to a restaurant, I have other cards. I'll use my Chase Sapphire Reserve, or I'll use another card that I have that will maximize my points. Because that's all, I'm always thinking about maximizing points. I'm always thinking about how many points can I get for using this card over using this card. So just because you have that card and it gets you good earn possibility in the US doesn't mean that it's a bad card because you can't get good earn possibilities in other countries. It just means you use a different card. So that's how I feel about that. Like I said, 80% or 85 to 90% of my spend is going to be within the US. So that's really not something that would shy me away from getting that card. Now, another question that was posed is the travel credit. So with Chase, with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, you get a $300 travel credit. I did not mention that in the last video. And it's true, yes, you get the $300 travel credit. But you have to look at it like this. It's great that you get the travel credit, but you are paying for the travel credit. Just like all the other credits. American Express Gold they have credits. They have the $120 dining credit. They have the $100 airline incidental credit. You're paying for that. You pay $250 for the American Express Gold. You pay $450 for the Chase Sapphire Reserve. You are paying for these credits that you're getting. So my goal, and the way that I look at a card and think that it's stronger than the other cards, when it comes to me personally, is there are a few different things. One, can I use all the credits that I get? So with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, it's easy. $300 travel credit, it goes to anything. It goes to airline, it goes to hotel, it goes to Uber, you name it. It will go to that. So I know I can use that credit. So that's good. However, what else do you get past that? So if I pay $450, I'm going to get the $300 travel credit. Now I have $150 that I need to try to see if I can maximize the fact that I'm spending $450. I need to be able to get that to zero. And so there's some other benefits that I use all the time. But there are benefits that I don't use with Chase, the Chase Sapphire Reserve. The rental car, the insurance, the primary insurance, I don't use that. Like, I don't get rental cars when I travel. When I travel, I like to stay in Airbnbs or I stay at Hyatt properties, and I will stay usually in the big cities, especially if it's my first time. I'm going to stay in the big cities, and I'll use Uber, I'll use a taxi. I do a lot of photography, so I will, at times I'll get a guide that will just take me everywhere that I want to go. So I very, very rarely ever get a rental car. So I don't need to utilize that. And plus I have other cards that have that benefit as well. So if you have the Chase Sapphire Reserve, you can consider getting the American Express Gold. Why? Because you can use whatever card you need to use in order to maximize your benefits. So that's my take on that. There's some other stuff here. Okay, why use a charge card, or why are we comparing charge cards to credit cards? They're not the same. And that's 100% correct. They're not the same. However, the way that I use my credit card is the same way that I would use a charge card. Okay, so when I'm using my credit cards, it's not because I don't have money in the bank. I have the money in the bank. As a matter of fact, if I don't have the money in the bank, I'm not using my credit card. I'm not making that purchase. So when I make the purchase, every 2 weeks, I'm paying off my credit cards. So any balance that I have on my credit cards are being paid off every 2 weeks. So that includes charge cards. So everything is getting paid off. So I never carry a balance. I never want to have to pay interest on anything. So that's why I pay it off. So every 2 weeks I pay it off. And there are certain situations where I'll wait the month and I'll pay it off, but I'll pay it in full and I'll never carry a balance. So that's just the way that I go about things. And that's what I really recommend. It's when it comes down to credit cards, you shouldn't use a credit card like I was taught when I was younger, where you use the credit card because you don't have cash in the bank and you want to pay it over time. You don't do that because you're accruing all these points. And the reason that you're accruing these points is you want to travel, right? You want to cash the points out, or you want to get money, get something for those points. Now, when I start paying interest, those points continue to drop because I'm paying interest. So now I'm putting more money into it and my point value is going down. So you never want to carry a balance. You never want to pay late fees. You never want to pay interest or anything like that. So the answer to that is I use the cards the same, and you should. Like when you're comparing these travel credit cards, you can compare a travel charge card to a travel credit card because your mindset needs to be that you're going to pay it all off at the end of the month. You're never going to carry a balance. So it should never be, the cards are the same, the way that I look at it. Now, sure, if you have a charge card, there is a limit, there is a maximum limit, but they don't really tell you what that maximum limit is, so you can kind of spend as you spend, but that could be dangerous. That could be very dangerous. But like I said, my rule of thumb, if I have the money in the bank, I'll make the purchase. If I don't have the money in the bank, I'm not making the purchase. It's just like when you had a debit card, use a debit card. You're not going to use your debit card if you don't have the money in the bank. You're going to have the money in the bank, then use your debit card because you know it's going to come right out of your banking, your checking account. So I do it the same way. Okay. The only thing is there's one extra step now, or now I have to go into my bank account and transfer that money over to my credit card, and that's it. So that's how I look at that. Another question or another statement that was posed was the 524 rule. So Chase has a 524 rule, basically meaning that you can only have 5 new accounts every 24 months. And this is good. Like Chase is smart for doing this because now it makes you have to, there's a certain strategy now where you're thinking, okay, I can get this Chase card, I can get that Chase card, I can get this Chase card. And usually you get the Chase cards first because you know if you go and get an American Express Gold card or American Express Platinum card, that's taking up slots and you only have 5 slots. So basically it looks like this. Let's say I get the American Express Gold and the American Express Platinum, and then I get the American Airlines Advantage card, and then I want to get 2 Chase cards. So I get all those cards within that 24 months. Let's say I get them kind of back to back, like with 3-4 months time, I get all those cards. So now I have 5 new accounts that are open. Now let's say a new card comes out from Chase and I want to get that card. So I try to get that card. They're going to deny me and tell me that I've reached my 5 for the 5 new accounts. It doesn't have to all be Chase accounts or Chase cards. It can be different cards. All they're doing is looking at your credit report, and they're looking to see how many new openings you've had in the last 24 months. So Chase is smart because now, you have to kind of look at, okay, well, I can get this card, I can get that card, I can get this card. I don't want to waste a slot. And so that's what a lot of people were saying in the comments. They don't want to waste a slot by getting this American Express Gold card. Okay. So we all have different situations, right? My situation is this. I have pretty much all the Chase cards that I want. And now there are only a couple of cards that I have my eye on that are Chase cards. But now I can, and I've had these cards for most of them for about 2 years. So now I can look into branching out. I'm going to keep the Chase cards, but now I can branch out, get American Express this or American Express that, because I'm not going to hit that 524 rule because there are not too many cards that I'm looking for that are in the Chase ecosystem right now. So we're everything, we're different when it comes to that. Some people might be just starting out and they're getting these Chase cards, and the reason why they're getting the Chase cards and they don't want to waste slots with American Express cards is because the 524. But it doesn't affect everybody the same way. So in my situation right now, it's been over 2 years. I think I have 1 card right now. Actually, no, that's a business card, so that doesn't even count. So it's been over 2 years. I can get 5 new cards, all American Express, if I wanted to go that route, which I can't even think of 5 American Express cards that I would get. But I can get 5 cards, and I'm fine. I have all the Chase that I need. And if I really, really wanted to, I don't have the United Mileage Plus card, so that's one of the cards that I'm kind of thinking about getting. But that card's not even a necessity because I have the Chase cards, I have the Ultimate Reward points, I can just transfer my points just like I'm doing now, transfer my points over to United and fly United. The only benefit is I get the baggage fee waived, and there are a couple other benefits. I think you actually get some lounge access and stuff like that. So it's where you are. Certain cards will suit you at certain times. And so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. Now, and the last thing too is American Express. People mention American Express is not accepted everywhere. That's true. It's not accepted everywhere. And in foreign countries, there are a lot of places that won't accept American Express. So that's another situation where I have different cards. So my main thing is I want to earn points the fastest way that I could possibly earn them, and then burn them. Earn them, burn them. So earn them and then use them as fast as I can to book travel. So that's my thing. So if I'm sitting in a situation and I can earn 4 times points at supermarkets, and I can't find anywhere else where I can earn 4 times points at supermarkets, I mean, the only other real option would be the Chase Freedom card, where they have different categories. So every quarter, at least one quarter, you'll have supermarkets where you can go into different grocery stores and you can get 5 times points. They cap it at $1,500 per quarter, but it allows you to get use your card to get that. And I think they have like Costco and things like that where they'll offer that in different quarters. So you are able to get 5 times points on certain cards, but the caps are really, really low, so you can't really get that much value out of it. This cap on the American Express Gold is $25,000, and for the average person, even the average family, you're probably not going to spend $25,000 in groceries in 1 year. So that's just kind of the way that I'm looking at it. And one more thing I wanted to talk about with the U.S. only. So like the 4 times points in the U.S. and the 3 times points in the U.S. when you're using American Express Gold. Not everyone travels out of the country, and some people might travel out of the country once a year, but they do a lot of traveling, but it's in the U.S. So if you're traveling in the U.S., this card is perfect for you because you're still going to get your 4 times points. You're still going to get your 3 times points. So that's not even a factor when you're looking at cards. And some people travel like I do. I do travel out of the country a lot, but I have other cards that I can utilize. So that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to kind of go over some of the questions, some of the statements that I saw in the comments. And I love the fact that people are really engaged in this conversation. That's really great. If you guys have any further questions, please post in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.